You're 30 years old. It's a Friday evening. Ryan is standing beside his car in a nearly empty parking lot. You've known him since high school. At 18, Ryan bought the car he always wanted. You didn't. While he was driving to work, you were taking the bus. For years, everyone thought Ryan had made the better decision. Tonight, Ryan looks at you and shakes his head. I still don't get it. He points at his car, then at yours. When we were 18, I had everything figured out. He pauses. How did you end up ahead? For a moment, you smile, because the truth is, you didn't know you would. You're 18 years old. A few weeks ago, you graduated from high school. For the first time in your life, the future feels real. No more classes, no more teachers, no more waiting. Now, it's your turn to build a life. Not long after graduation, you and your friend Ryan get hired at the same company. The pay isn't great, but neither of you care. To both of you, it feels like freedom. For the first time, money's coming in every month. Every Friday after work, a small group gathers in the parking lot before heading home. One afternoon, Ryan walks everyone over to his car. He had just picked it up the day before. Everyone gathers around it. The excitement is contagious. Even you can't stop looking at it. Driving home on the bus that evening, you can't stop thinking about one thing. For the first time, owning a car feels possible. Not someday. Now. That night, you bring it up to your father. You tell him you're thinking about financing a car. He listens quietly, then asks a simple question. Do you want the car, or do you want what comes after the car? You don't understand what he means. A car is freedom, isn't it? Your father smiles. Everything comes at the right time. A few weeks later, Ryan signs the paperwork. You don't. Instead, you make a decision that feels disappointing. You keep taking the bus, and almost immediately, it feels like everyone else is moving faster than you. You're 20 years old. It's a rainy Monday morning. The bus is running late again. You check the time on your phone and watch another car drive past. Then another. Then another. Most mornings look the same. Wake up. Go to work. Take the bus home. Repeat. 2 years ago, it felt temporary. Now, it feels like your life. One afternoon, Ryan offers to drive you home after work. As you sit in the passenger seat, he talks about a road trip he's planning for the summer. The freedom. The convenience, the places he wants to visit. You stare out the window and wonder if your father was wrong. Because from where you're sitting, Ryan seems happy. And more importantly, Ryan seems ahead. That night, you open your banking app before going to sleep. Then another account, the one almost nobody knows about. Every month, part of your paycheck ends up there. Not much, just enough to make progress. The number is still small, far too small to impress anyone, but it's larger than it was a year ago. You stare at it for a few seconds, then close the app. The next morning, you're back at the bus stop, still waiting, still saving, still wondering if patience is actually wisdom or just fear disguised as responsibility. You're 22 years old. You made the decision to move out on your own. The apartment is small, a couch, a table, a bed, not much else. It's your first place, and for the first time in your life, every bill has your name on it. Rent, utilities, internet, groceries. The expenses seem endless. Some months, it feels like money disappears the moment you get paid. One Friday evening, Ryan stops by after work. As the two of you talk, he mentions he's thinking about upgrading his car. Again, the one he already has is perfectly fine, but there's a newer model he likes even more. You nod. Then glance around your apartment. The worn-out couch, the empty walls, the secondhand furniture. For a moment, adulthood feels like a competition you're losing. That night, you sit at your kitchen table reviewing your finances. The numbers aren't impressive. In fact, they're smaller than you hoped they'd be. Living on your own is expensive, more expensive than you ever imagined. But then you notice something. Despite the rent, despite the bills, despite everything, the number is still growing. Slowly, quietly, month after month. Nobody sees it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody congratulates you for it. But it's there. For the first time, you begin wondering if progress and appearance might be two very different things. You're 24 years old. It's a Saturday morning. You've spent the last few weeks looking at used cars. Nothing flashy, nothing expensive, just something reliable. Something that won't keep you awake at night wondering how you'll make the next payment. One morning, you find it. A 2014 Toyota Corolla. The paint isn't perfect. The technology feels outdated. and it definitely isn't the car you imagined driving when you were 18. But it has something none of the cars you dreamed about had. It's within reach. A few days later, you walk into the dealership, sign the paperwork, and hand over the money. No loan, no monthly payment, no debt, just a simple exchange. For a moment, as the salesman places the keys in your hand, you feel something you weren't expecting: relief. Driving home, you realize something. This isn't the car you wanted at 18, it's better, because it's the first car that truly belongs to you. A few weeks later, you meet Ryan for lunch. As you pull into the parking lot, he notices the Corolla. He looks at it for a moment, then smiles. That's it? You laugh, because part of you had expected the same reaction. Ryan starts talking about a newer car he's been thinking about buying. More horsepower, more features, more everything. As he talks, you glance back at the Corolla. Nobody would call it impressive, but for the first time in years, you stop feeling behind. Not because you've caught up, because you're finally moving at your own pace. You're 27 years old. The Corolla has been with you for 3 years. It starts every morning, gets you to work, gets you home, never complains, never surprises you. It's exactly what you hoped it would be. Reliable. But lately, something has changed. Not the car, you. One afternoon, you're sitting in traffic when a newer model pulls up beside you. For a moment, you catch your reflection in the window. Then you look at your Corolla. The same Corolla you've been driving since you were 24. The same Corolla everyone told you would only be temporary. That evening, you stop by a dealership, just to look. At least that's what you tell yourself. You walk past rows of newer cars, better interiors, better technology, the kind of cars you dreamed about when you first graduated from high school. And for the first time in years, you realize something. You could actually afford one, not with a loan, not with financing. Right now. A salesman approaches and offers you a test drive. For the next 20 minutes, you imagine a different version of your life. A nicer car, more status, more attention, more proof that all your hard work paid off. That night, you sit at your apartment kitchen table. The numbers are spread across your screen. The new car, your savings, your investments, your future. For nearly an hour, you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then you remember something your father told you years ago. Do you want the car, or do you want what comes after the car? For the second time in your life, you walk away. And somehow, it's harder than the first. Ryan is still standing beside you in the parking lot, waiting for an answer. For a moment, you look at his car, then at your Corolla, the same Corolla you've been driving for years. Finally, you smile. The truth is, you did a lot of things right. Ryan looks confused. You continue. You just spent your money differently. For years, Ryan upgraded his cars. For years, you kept driving the same one. While he was making payments, you were building savings. While he was upgrading vehicles, you were building options. Little by little, year after year. Nothing dramatic, nothing exciting, just small decisions repeated over and over again. Earlier that year, you finished paying for a small apartment. Nothing extravagant, just a place that belonged to you. No landlord, no debt, just yours. And next week, you're finally replacing the Corolla. Not because you have to, because you want to. An Audi A6, paid in full, no loan, no monthly payment, no stress. Ryan nods slowly, as if he's finally starting to understand, because the truth was never about the car. The car was only the symbol. What you were really building was freedom. The freedom to handle emergencies without panic, the freedom to make decisions without debt, the freedom to choose what happens next. Most people think freedom arrives after success, but often freedom is what creates success in the first place. That's why the hardest part of building a better future is that almost nobody notices while you're doing it. From the outside, patience looks like stagnation, discipline looks boring, and slow progress looks like no progress at all. Until one day, the results become impossible to ignore, and that's when you realize something. The greatest rewards in life are rarely the ones that impress other people. They're the ones that quietly give you control over your own future.